episode of Coaches Connected. My name is Coach David Butler, currently the offensive coordinator at Shropshire Revolution. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject, past concept near and dear to myself, why stick. Um, this is a concept that I've ran for a long time, and it's an air raid staple and all that good stuff. But the plan today is to speak about this concept. Mainly from a younger guy's perspective. Hopefully, the younger guys coming through, if you're a new coach or a coach looking to learn stuff and seeing all these American guys and how they run it. Hopefully, this will be like a UK perspective on stuff and how we run plays and how we attack formations and stuff like that, and how we get around certain aspects of it. Um, so basically, yeah, this is just my version of why stick and how I run it here at the Revolution in the UK in general. So without further ado, I'll go through the PowerPoint, and then we've got some clips and some little bit of a huddle annotations that we can talk about later on. But without further ado, we'll get going. As you can see there, why stick? Its values and rules. First and foremost, why stick is a quick game concept. We look to get the ball out of our hands really quickly. It's not something where you get look and bounce on the spot, looking to hold that ball for too long. 2 seconds and it's gone. We teach it one step from the gun. If you're a gun team, it's one step. If you're a pistol team or a multiple team or understand team, it's 3 steps, depending on whatever your choice of formation happens to be. If you're a gun team, then it's one step and it's gone. Totally everybody's own choice on this, but for me, how I run it, our X and our Y are always on the line. That might be an air raid staple. I think it is. This isn't set in stone. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be on the line. It can be X and Z, whichever, whatever you want to do. But the way that I was taught it, I was passed it down, is that X and Z is always on the line, and that's how I've moved forward with it ever since. And I'm not going to change the way that I run it now, just because you kind of stick with what you know, and that's what I was taught. Another thing for me, in my system, our Y is our best wide receiver. He's our playmaker. So whatever goal you've got, for me, he goes at Y in my system. He goes at Y. Now, you'll see in the pros and in some colleges where they got the tight end attached to the tackle. Great stuff. It's all lovely, but the chances of us in this country finding the tight end or multiple tight ends that we can run plays through, it's very slim. So we normally try to find our best guys, and we have to spread it out wide and just take advantage of the grass. Basically, that's our approach to it: is take advantage of the grass. Okay. Stick there is one of our four main concepts. One of our power four, as I always say. It's the very first play that I install for pre-season is stick. It's got so many good points to it. It can be run against multiple defenses, and there's always going to be an answer, hopefully built in to what we do, so that whenever the defense throws it, yeah, you've got something to answer it with. That's the beauty of stick for me, and why we run it so often. Let's just say that in a regular game here in the UK, we might get 56, 66 offensive snaps. I would say that stick probably gets around 15, 16, 17 snaps of, say, 30 passing game snaps. So we're looking to get almost half of our passes are usually stick. And 9 times out of 10, we get positive results out of it. Not always. It's real life. And it doesn't always go to plan. But 9 times out of 10, we get positivity out of it. Another thing from my perspective, that I teach you, if this helps anybody else, great. But in year one, I always say that our receivers are locked in. So if you're a first year coach, if you're a new coach going into a new team, or if you're a new player in a new team, we always say that you're locked into your position. So if you're an X, you're an X. If you're an H, you're an H, etc., etc. We don't ask guys to learn multiple positions and learn multiple things. We basically know that if you're coming in and we put you as an X, you're going to learn the X position, its routes, and whatever we choose to do, and that's going to be it. You don't have to worry about the rest of the spots along the way. Now, if you're a second year guy or a third year guy or a fully fledged vet, don't expect more of you, and you might be asked to do 2, 3 spots and more. And that's the way that we approach it where we are right now. Biggest point of this whole video is, remember, it's the UK. We have time constraints more than our American brothers will probably ever realise. Is that if you just take the season that's just gone past, let's just say we started pre-season in January 2020, we would have one practice per week, one Sunday per week, and that would last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and we would probably get an hour's offensive time. And in that offensive time, we still got to work on our fundamentals and our techniques and stuff like that. And then so we get 1 hour to install one play. So we usually do it one play per week over a normal period of weeks until we get what we want to. Now, our playbook can be vast, our playbook can be small. It depends on the situation, the team, and the personnel. But we have to apply what we can use now and what we can get the most of out of our players. So the 4 things I always say is, what can we teach? Is it simple to learn? Is it easy to execute? And is it effective? Now, over the course of time and the course of my own coaching career, I've come to realize that there are certain things and certain concepts and certain plays where you can hang your hat on, so to speak. As a new coach, you might just see a whole bag of plays and go, I want that, I want that, I want that. And they don't work and you can't spend the time on it. You want to spend your time on plays where you know you're going to get something out of it, and you put the work in, you get the work into it, you get out of it what you put in. And also, the stick being a simple concept, it's not so hard to teach and not so hard to get results instantly. Now, from that, the last point there is, can you build from it and around it? And in Stick's case, yes, you can, because in year 2 or year 3, you could have like multi-level RPOs off of it, or you could package half run, half pass, all kinds of weird stuff that you can do, and obviously multiple sticks. It hasn't just got to be one stick; it could be X stick and Z stick and all kinds of stuff that you can do, and mix and match and stuff. So it can be built upon and we used upon, and I'll talk about it a little bit further on. But in our level, I use formations to build around it and make things look differently. So that's what we do in this aspect of the wash stick in this country. The concept. To the right is a picture of wash stick. It's the generic one from YouTube. Sorry, from Google. If you Google that right now, that will be on any screen that you look up. It's just the generic one. Obviously, everybody's version of wash stick is different, and they'll probably tell you what they do completely different to me. But I'm telling you how I run it, and if you can take anything from that in this country, then I'm hopeful that somebody can do something with it. How do we teach it? Obviously, we have got time constraints in this country and time limitations. We can't be around our guys every single day. So what we do is that in pre-season, we will spend probably the Wednesday or the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and we will have our receivers and our QBs and our skill guys all in one classroom, usually online. So it'll be Zoom or YouTube or Facebook or whatever the chosen pathway is for everybody to get online with. And we'll go through the play for that week. In this case, Y stick. We'll go through it, talk about the reads, talk about the routes and what we're expecting, what we want to see, how we want it delivered, etc., etc. And then we upload that to our from our live stream to our player pages, and they can watch that at their leisure and digest it until they feel ready, and then hopefully they'll bring Sunday what we've learned, and we can install it, and it will easily install and make it quicker and faster, and we get less teething problems with it. A side note from that is that for any new coaches coming into the game or whatever, if we know our preseason starts in December, we will start QB meetings in September. So it'll be me, the QB coach, and the 3-4 QBs, however many we get that year. We will start going through the playbook, the plays, our vision for the year, what we want to get out of it, what we want to see them get out of the season, and put it all in together week by week. I'll upload videos for them to watch it at their own time, and they'll watch it back and stuff like that. So that by the time they get to December and we start preseason, they know that playbook inside out, as much as me, as much as our other coaches. So that they're basically, QB has to be an extension of me, an extension of our staff. He's like that coach on the field. So he has to know, he has to buy in, he has to be as smart as the rest of us, you know. And sometimes it takes that time, and some players are not always ready to take it on board quickly, and sometimes it shows, and other times, you know, I've been around guys where They've been top tier and guys that have been new guys coming into the game and they've got to learn their way. But this concept works in both aspects of it. Okay. Solid thing there I've put is letters mean nothing. Okay. Now this is for the newer coaches. You'll see on the diagram you got XH, YZ, and QB and F. Okay, all lovely and great. However, it doesn't have to be that way. You know what? If you want to pick any letters, I've seen guys with L and R and F and W and S. Whatever you choose to do, or numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever you choose to do it. Do what you want to do. Be comfortable in whatever you're teaching. Don't think you have to do it like somebody else does it just because it's the way it's been done before. Teach it and learn it how you want to do, because at the end of the day, you're the guy that's got to put this out there, teach it, and have answers to the questions. So when the guys ask questions of anything, you got the answer. So if you feel like you want to number these or change to anything from the alphabet you want to do, I am all for that. Go ahead and do it, boys. Show some guts and go for it. Be yourself. Don't try and be nobody. Do whatever you want to do. Embrace that and take that challenge on board, and you be the best coach that you can be, and always do it your way. Never be afraid to be different, ever. That's the biggest piece of advice I'll give to any coach: is never be afraid to be you, ever. In terms of install, if you're a spread offense, we always start installing 2x2. Everything we do is in 2x2, and then from there we can adjust and move forward each and every week. So we'll install 3 or 4 players, and then we might go back and revisit them in 3x1 or in Pro and whatever else. You know what I mean? So we always install players in 2x2 first, and then we go back and adapt to them and move on, so on and so forth. Usually, when we do the other formations, it's 9 times out of 10, it's only one guy that has to move. So it's literally cheap install and cheap learning. So it's not too hard on everybody. It's just like one guy's got to change position or one guy out, depending on the formation of the play. So it's really not that. It's not as difficult as it sounds. I've got tags and flips there. Tags is a little bit for year one. If you're a year 2, year 3 guy, you can tag all kinds of stuff off of Y stick when you've been running for a couple of years. You can change the backside concept. You can tag a run play to it. You can throw RPOs on it. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's built to be built upon technically. But for a year 1 guy or a new coach, and you're looking to hang your hat on 3 or 4 plays, stick is a beautiful play to hang your hat on. It's simple, effective, easy to teach. And as I say, don't worry about the tags. And if you want it to be real simple and have a simple answer to something, just go flip. So if the defense is showing you the left-hand side and showing the stick open, just go flip, or whatever word you choose to flip. Again, all these things are totally on you. Your verbiage is totally on you. Don't think that you have to have a 50 million word play. Our word for stick is Viking. That's it. That tells everybody all the play. It's one word. So when we stick to the play in, all we got is 2 words. It's the formation and the play. So it will be gun, Viking. That's as simple as it gets, and that tells the whole team the whole play. That is it, and that's how we move forward. The bottom one for me is one of my personal things, is that you can do so much more with plays if you give people things to think about. So we will always be multiple as an offense. We will show we may have 6, 7, 8 plays, but we may run them from 9, 10, 12 formations. So it's not too hard for us to learn, but it gives the defense something to think about all the time. So we can run zone or stick or verts or whatever we want to run, and we can run that from 6, 7, 8 things and not even worry about it. It's something that can just happen naturally for us, and that's the way that we want to approach it. Here's 4 examples again of our multiple formations with the stick concept. You'll see that in 3 of the 4 formations, the right hand side of the screen is identical. You got a fade, you got a stick, and you got a swing. So 3 of those 4 concepts are the same play, with only one thing different. Like in Pro, the H is for the swing. You can get them running our other side is in Queen. Simple teaching, but giving people different looks. And obviously, if you're running 6 or 7 plays out of these 7 or 8 different formations, it gives the defense lots and lots to think about and lots to digest. Again, the only true difference there is trips, and technically the only difference again is that one guy is the H screw across and he's running the inside slam. Okay, he's not running the on the outside. So it's basically so similar, so simple, but it gives us extra leverage down the road. Okay, let me get off this screen. Nope. Let me just change screens. Okay, now we're back, and we should be on our huddle playbook, and we'll just talk about how we line up and what we do. Our reads and how we attack it. As you can see, as I said previously, this is pretty much our base. We call it base 2x2. It's real simple. Our X and our Y on the line, you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you feel free to do. You can be your X and Z, whatever. As long as you've got 7 on the line, there's no right or wrong. This is what I was taught. This is how I run it. As I've said before, I've seen people with L and R and all that kind of jargon. I'm all for it. Embrace it. Do what you want to do. In our offense, the only similar thing to that is our H. Is in a perfect world, in an ideal world, my H would be a hybrid, and he'd be a guy that could play slot and play running back, and that way we can change formations without actually changing personnel. So it gives us a lot of flexibility, but we don't always have that. And when we don't, then we just basically stick another wide receiver in there. Normally a bigger body type, a possession kind of guy, depending on who we have. And if you're blessed to have lots of receivers and 2 or 3 backs, you can mix it up and do whatever you want. Again, my personal preference is our Y is our playmaker. He's our best athlete. He's the guy that you want to get the ball into space fast and let him make plays. Let him get that yak. Let him make all the yards himself with a simple 2 or 3 yard pass. It's great for the stats. It's great for everybody, and it looks good. Bottom line. Again, personal preference aside, everybody's different. People might want big lanky guys. I'm all for speed on the outside. Speed on the outside. So my X and my Z will always be fast. That's my personal preference. There's no right or wrong in anybody's coaching tips or anybody's way of doing it. This is how I attack Y stick and how I attack a lot of the stuff we do. And our R is always opposite to H. That is our rule in gun or base. Let me just go through our concepts, our concept itself and our reads. So we'll start with a Z. Our Z has a mandatory outside release. Okay, mandatory outside release. We want him to turn the shoulders and the hips of the DB and make him run away. At the very worst, open him a space up for the Y. That is the very worst. Now we can add on to that by if the guy's in man on man press, we can just say, you know what, you want to play us like that, we can throw the ball on you. Okay, and we will do that, and the QB's got range to do that. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we want mandatory outside release so that we make the DB turn his hips and turn his shoulders. That's the key to this. Okay, our Y, he's going to run that 5 yard and sit. Okay, or taken out. It's not a whip. It's a sit or it's out. Okay, and the way we teach it, the way it's based on, is that if the defender, whether it's a backer or a safety or a DB, however they want to show us, if he's inside 5 yards and he's up, then we're going to take that out. If he's 6 yards or more and he's sitting, we're going to hitch it up and sit in the grass. Okay. This is why we want a veteran receiver and a savvy guy and a playmaker, because we ask him to learn to know stuff. It's not the case of you're a young guy and he's going to run this. You have to be smart and know when to sit and know when to go out. Okay. Now, if we've got a younger guy in there and he's fresh, and we always say to him the same rules apply. But if you're ever in doubt, running out. That's one of those catchy gimmicks that people talk about. If you're ever in doubt, run it out, and we live by that rule. So sometimes you can see on some film of us, we might have a young guy who's running out when there's no need to. But if he's unsure, run that out. Hopefully it's clear, because this Z taking the man away, so the space should be there no matter what. At R, he runs a swing. Now this has changed for me over the years. I'm not going to lie. but our arc currently runs this ring. It used to be an arrow or a shoot, whatever you want to call it. It used to be an arrow, but at the moment I've settled on a swing just because I like the way that when the QB checks down, he's in line with the QB's line of vision. Okay. The backside, we've got double slants. Again, I'll be totally honest with every coach in the room. This changes yearly. Every single year, I change the backside of stick because I'm never happy with it. Never. It's one of the bugbears in my life, and I've never ever truly been happy. No matter what I've ran, and I've ran about 17 different concepts on the backside. So I've gone back to double stick for this season. Double slant this season. Might be right, might be wrong. We never got tested out, but that's what we're currently rocking. We've had whipping out, we've had fading out, and all kind of stuff. So right now, this would be our stick concept. How do we read it? Everything is pre-snap. We want it to be as simple and quick for the QB as he possibly can. We're not trying to make him be Dan Marino or anybody of Peyton Manning's ilk. We're not asking him to do a load of reading of defenses and be a savior. Just make your decision, be quick, and be smart. Okay. Now, the way we do this is Z is our peak. It's not our one, it's our peak. It's our peak route. So if this defender is in press or is in man, and we know we got our little fast guy who can make him turn it and we can beat him, especially if they're one high. If they're two high, it's a little bit difficult because you've got less grass to throw into. But if they're one high, and in this country we see one high a ton of one high. If they're one high and this guy's down in man, we let the QB take that shot. If he sees it, he's got the green light to take that shot every single time. And if he comes off the field and says, I took the shot, whether it's complete or incomplete, I'll back him every time. Real simple. As long as the ball isn't picked off because he's gone 50 miles the wrong way. And that's a different kettle of fish. But we will back you every time. If you take the shot, there's never nothing wrong with that. We want to be aggressive. We want to get the ball down the field. And we're not just going to be a nickel and dime team. Although it's a short passing game, we will be aggressive with it. If we can take our shots, we will take them. And this is why the stick is such a great play, as it has levels of attack built into it. Okay, so our first read is peak, and then our initial read and our main and our primary read is Y, and that's 1. Okay, so we're going to peak pre-snap at the Z. On the snap, we're going to look at our Y. If this defender is on him, he's going to run a 5 and out. The QB will throw it out towards the sideline, unless that linebacker or DB bites down on the running back running the swing, then you'll just hit the H on the out anyway, because you'll sit there. If the linebacker or the DB or the safety, however they want to cover us, because you just never know with defense these days, it's not smart. If he's in 6 or more off, and they're playing off, and they got their backer down here showing blitz and wanting to be all clever and threatening us, and that guy's just going to run an itch and sit down. Real simple. Exploit the grass they're giving us and take it. Our third read is our R, so we go peak, 1, 2. It's technically our third read, but it's only our second read in reality. Peak, 1, 2. Now, if it gets to this, for me, we should never look backside by now. The ball should be gone to peak, 1 or 2. We should never get to backside on a 1-step drop. It should never be that deep. So if you're going to attack the left-hand side or the back side of this play, it has to be pre-snap. Has to be. So we're going to attack it pre-snap. If you see that the slants are on because their guys are showing us, we can attack that one high space with the outside slant. Attack it pre-snap. Go ahead and take it. But I don't want to see us leaving Z, Y, and R to go back to H and Z after the snap. It should never happen that way. We want it to be gone very, very quickly. Okay, that's how we want to see it done. Again, if we change this up a little bit, let's just delete this. Let's just say that we're talking about multiple formations. If we're in pro, okay, we can do whatever we want with this H. If we let's just say we're running the slant and out, that's our go-to route on this combination side for this season. Basically, he can run the same route, right? He can run the same route. He's just running it out. It's nothing major right there. It's the same route. Again, if we decide to move him along and go king, queen, or whatever, if we go in queen in this instance, our teaching's not going to change. Okay, so the right side of the play, our teaching hasn't changed one iota. It's still the same thing. Now we're in another formation, and we know that we might have 3 or 4 plays built in where we run different things off this formation, but we still run a stick off it. Nothing's changed for us. It's just a look, a bit of window dressing. Okay, again, we would just simply run an arrow off of it or out, whichever we decide to do. It's so simple teaching. It's simple to do. It's cost effective. Again, let's just say we want to be clever, and oh my bad, we want to be clever, and we put in a sniffer package like we have done in the past this year. So what we would do here, you bring the sniffer over, delete that. You get your H to run an arrow there this time. So it's the same red, but the other side. Okay, excuse my drawing, it's horrible. And then you'd have the R run a swing on this side. Okay, exactly the same thing, just flipped over. Easy teaching. So you could easily have 5 or 6 different looks without any issues in terms of teaching it and how we want to attack it. The base of the play remains the same. Our core fundamentals remain the same. Our reads remain the same. So if the H was here, it would still be our third read, or our second read, our third technically. It would still be peak 1, 2, peak 1, 2. One of them is going to be open, especially if this H is here. That back is going to flash down, meaning the H is going to be wide open. We always take what they give us. The defense will always give you something. They can't cover everything. It's impossible. It's up to us to recognise it and take it. And that's my approach to that. Let's move forward a little bit. Let's go into a bit of film. Let's just change screens. Hang on. Okay. Here we are now. This is pre-season 2020. A little bit of insight into this. This guy's a veteran. This guy's a second-year guy. He was a rookie last year. So minimal game time. Came in this year, ready to work, dropped weight, was ready to go from the get-go. Okay. As you'll see from this snap and this clip, we're in our base. We're in our 2x2. We should see double slants at the top, and we should see our sticker and our mandatory release from our Azzy. Our back should run a swing, and our QB should, based on this alignment, already know where we're going to throw the football. For me, we'll be looking to hit the Y, and the Y should sit. This is the second-year guide, gents. We'll play it through, so we can see their DB's feeling real smooth and real cocky. He's coming in to press. We like that. If the QB wants to take that shot now, he can. However, we do tell them pre-season that when there's 2 safeties, ease off that pedal with throwing that ball. If you want to take your shot, take it, but you've got to get past that safety or get the ball there quickly before the safety can get there. That's what we teach them pre-season in our QB meetings. So we make it as less painful as possible when we get on the field. Okay? We'll watch it through. You can see there right now, we have got an absolutely acre of space between our receiver and their safety, mainly due to the fact that their backer, who should be covering our guy, is just going to blitz. If you're an aggressive defense and they want to be clever, we like that. You go in bed and be smart. We'll just complete balls. Okay, so we watch it through. As you can see, Azzy is turning the defender. Exactly what we want to do, turn those hips, turn those shoulders. Azzy is quick as lightning. He's going to go and take it off. Okay. R is running the swing. He's occupying this backer, exactly what we hoped. Okay, so he didn't even get the blitz. He basically got to cover the guy. Middle linebacker is in no man land. As you can see, my second-year wide receiver, rookie from last year. Smart, doesn't go too deep, knows the route, knows the concept, sits in the grass. Catches the football, turns it upfield, one up with the quickest, down 6-7 yards, and we make a first down. Watch it from another angle, okay, from the back angle. We were blessed this year to have a lot of film. from a lot of angles. You know, say what you want about Revolution in terms of their catchment area. They do a lot of things right in terms of providing for their guys. A lot of things right. Again, this is the back view, the end zone view. You'll see that you can see pre-snap. We got the space there vertically. This guy is now going to take our back, which means that we know that our boy is just going to sit in that grass and take that space. It's a perfect example of the concept we want to run. As you can see, the QB is already ready. Lets it go. Nice catch. And we go away and we go and make some yak. Backside. Again, 2 rookies on the left-hand side. We do bleed the rookies through. We're not afraid to bring them through. Double slants. They defend that really well. It's not really open. Again, I'm not happy with that backside of the concept. It's driving me around the twist, but it is what it is. But front side, he's turned his hips. He's away. His safety is now going to come down and try and chase his ball. He's not going to get there in time. Great catch. Great yards after catch. Super duper. Excellent job. We'll move on. I'll try and do another clip. I've got a clip of that was against, I think it's Doncaster, where we have where we have our best receiver from last year, our stud. It loads. Bear with me, guys. One second. Okay. Again, I'll maintain we are playing a lesser opponent. We are expected to beat lesser opponents. But when you play a lesser opponent than yourself, you have to put them to the sword early. Okay, so what we want to do is if we want to get our best guys on the ball early and make them pay. So we don't want to keep a lesser team in the game. We've been lesser teams in games, and if you keep us hanging around, it builds team spirit and it turns into a battle. We want to put lesser teams away quickly, and this is no slight to anybody we're playing right now. We were the better team on the day. We had the better athletes, the better linemen. It showed. That said, our quarterback is a first-year quarterback. This is the first year to ever play quarterback. Moved from wide receiver. So, you know, as I said before, this play is easily teachable and easily translatable across the board, regardless of talent level for your quarterback. Okay. Again, we'll watch it. We're in 2x2. I'm just showing clips in 2x2 just to give you the quickest and easiest example. Okay, so we're going to go off. You can see that this guy, he's going to run that outside release fade. We want to get this guy's hips turned. At the end of the day, the way they're lined up, we could take a shot across the board in any way, shape, or form. We like this one high look with man press. It excites me. However, it's early days. So what we do there, we get our guy running the stick route. Let's go back. He's inside 5 yards. So if he's inside 5 yards, we want him to go out. That's the rule, and we just maintain that and keep it. So if you're a new coach looking to build this up, if you're inside 5 yards, always run it out. If they're deeper than 5 yards, turn, sit in the grass. We want to exploit whatever grass is available. And right now, when we snap this football, the grass to the sideline is exposed, and that's where we want to hit it. Okay? Our QB sees his pre-snap. You can see that this guy has beaten this guy every way, shape, up. On the flip side of that, he's running the right route. He's got his head turned around. He's running his swing route nicely. On the back side, we've got double slant. We've got a slant and a whip in this case. It was last year. Neither are open. Shock. But we chose to go front side as the concept really dictates. We see the guy, our best athlete, gets into space, sits down, and takes a 6-yard hitch into a 57-yard touchdown pass. These are the kind of things that I try and put forward to my players, is that we want to get our athletes the ball fast and let them go make a play. You know, if you've got a QB that can throw the ball 50 yards, 60 yards, then you can do a lot more things. If your QB's not got that, then you need to get the ball in your playmaker's hands as fast as you possibly can. And this is one of the surefire ways of doing it, by getting your best guy the ball in his hands. Nice breaking out route there. Ball comes to him under the throw, but it actually works in his favour. He cuts back up and turns it into a touchdown. Great look. Great play. Again, guys, I maintain, as I always do, this is built for the UK coaching community, especially the younger guys who are coming through, or the guys still playing that wannabe coaches, and the guys that maybe have no one to turn to and learn from. If you have nobody to teach you or to be a mentor to, hopefully you take something away from any one of these videos that we're putting out, myself and the coaches that we got lined up and the coaches that have gratefully come through so far. If you can take one thing and it helps you in your coaching career, then we have done our job as somebody taught me and somebody taught him, and so on and so forth. So one thing that I want to expand in this country is passing that knowledge down to younger guys, and hopefully Coaches Connect is our way of doing it, especially for the Midlands guys, just because it's where I am, but I embrace the whole country, and I know we've got coaches lined up from across the whole country. So again, hopefully you've taken something away from this today. This is just my version of stick and how I run it, and there's a million ways to run stick, and there's no right or wrong way to do anything. Just embrace it and make it your own, guys. Make it your own. So hopefully you've all learned something, or you've enjoyed it, or you listened to me talk crap for 45 minutes, whichever the case is. I appreciate you all. So thank you for your time, boys. Thanks a lot.